Welcome again to the SkAi Industry Experts series, where we explore the exciting world of architecture, engineering, and construction. Today's session is specially designed for college students who are preparing to enter the AEC industry. We'll
Right.
talk about how to embrace the challenges you'll face and turn them into opportunities for success. So, joining me today is from Singapore is Pauline Ong, a construction industry veteran with more than 20 years of experience delivering marquee projects in the Middle East, uh, UK, as well as in Singapore and Malaysia, right? So Pauline is someone who has a wealth of experience in project planning, your estimation, quantity surveying, cost and operations management. So, from my understanding, she's her industries she's worked in mainly is in construction with an expertise of utilities and hospitality sectors. Currently, a lot of the projects that she's doing is in renewable energy. So, Pauline, thanks for joining me. Thanks for taking out time today, and we look forward to a very interesting session today.
Thank you, Sasha. Thanks for giving me opportunity to share my experience.
Thanks again for joining. So, I'd like to begin by asking you a little bit about your career journey. So, 20 years in this wonderful industry. I'd like to know, where did it all start? What was it that initially sparked your interest in joining the construction industry, and how have you kept that spark going for so many years?
I think the spark is begin from my school time. I just like to build something, and I like to see something being construct physically, can see it. So it's just an interest. It start from my interest. I keen to know more, so I joined in this industry, and throughout the 20 years, of course, it's not easy construction. It's not like the office work. You always need to go to site. It's dusty, hot, dirty, and sometimes the people not that friendly. Always fighting with contractor, client, subcon. But I think that's the interesting part. Yeah, it's keep me going by doing all this again and again. Yeah.
That's very interesting. So, looking back, like, is there anything that you would have done differently in your career, or understanding, like, from your educational background when you
Mm-hmm.
first joined the industry? Was there something that really helped you over the years?
Mm, can you repeat again this question? Sorry.
Okay, sure. So there's two folds to this question. So the first is, of course, what is your educational background, if I may ask?
Um, More to project management.
More on the project management side. So, like, in terms of what you picked up during your educational journey, were there any specific aspects that helped you translate it in your day-to-day work as of now?
Yeah. Actually, what I'm doing now is still what I'm studying in school, and sometimes I still need to look back the notes, what I learned, and some of it right now I think is something look familiar, but I totally can't remember what I studied. But I know I learned something in my class. Yeah. The most interesting we it's like day to day when you in the class you look at all these things is like very normal. You know, I know it. When you come to work, you feel like I don't know this. When you really need to apply it, so it make me continue to take a lot of different courses during my work career. Throughout my career, I did taking all the different courses like um, the contract law, or right now I think I'm picking up the skill of software. We're
Mhm.
using the beam information modeling. Well, so the whole industry changed. So it's like no choice, you have to learn. But I quite enjoy learning. instead of doing the 9 to 5 every day, repeat the same thing again and again for 20 years. That sounds like quite horrible, right? If you're doing the same thing for the 20 years without improving. Yeah.
Absolutely. So what I hear from you is that while you picked up many concepts, it's fundamental concepts were still the same from what you picked up from education. Learning
Yes.
has been part of the process every day, right? So every day you learn, and the
Learn,
industry
improve.
evolves. It's becoming more technology driven. So with building information modeling or BIM coming up, a
Mm,
lot of this information is being depicted in one place through the models, and that is in turn driving more efficiency.
yes, correct.
Yeah. So having said that, I'm very curious. Like you've picked a niche, right? So you're into you're a senior quantity surveyor at Jacobs right now,
You're right.
and it's a very interesting role which a lot of students are not even aware of, right? Like generally, when students get out, they're looking at either design roles or they're looking at site roles, right? But from what we know, in terms of quantity surveying, it really you have a pulse of the entire project with you. So if you can explain to me a little bit about your role, how who are the stakeholders that you generally interact with, and how someone can pursue a career along these lines.
Okay, quantity surveyor, it might not that popular compared to engineering. So what we do is more to costing. For example, the engineer or architect, designer, they come out some concept design, and every project is commercial driven. You whether you build or not build or whatever, you need to know commercially whether you can sustain or not. So what my our task is like, once we have the concept design, I have to estimate the cost based on the concept, and how much is it, how much the investor need to invest, what is the return. So yes or no, the client will make decision based on the costing we provide. And then the next stage, designer, they will design all the detailed design, and we quantity surveyor, we have to come out the tender document. So tender document is something like bills of quantities, which all the items involved in that projects, so the contractor can price accordingly. And then we have a contract document, which is involve the contract agreement with the client or the subcon, main con. So these are our job to prepare all these documents. It sounds like a lot of paperwork, yes. But we also do quantity taking off. When we say quantity taking off, it's like one whole project. How much steel we need for this project? How much concrete, painting? So we have to calculate all the quantity. Of course, right now everything is go to beam modeling, so it's easily can take from the model instead of we manually taking off the quantity right now. So our focus is more to the cost estimation and the contract right now. The I think in future this is what we're moving to.
Yeah, very interesting. So I think it's a very critical role because on one side, of course, the design aspects come in, but as it goes towards building,
Right.
every construction project, of course, the critical aspects are your time. You're always going against time as well as the budget, right?
Yes.
So both interlinking with making sure the schedule which has been set is being met, as well as making sure that there are no cost overruns. So I think quantity surveying is a critical aspect of any project. If you get it wrong, either the time or the cost, there will be a lot of implications.
It's not only time and cost, the quality. So what if is under cost? What are the quality you can deliver? It's a poor quality, right? Because you need to cover the cost that under cost, the price that
Absolutely,
yeah.
absolutely. Great. So For someone who is there a particular skill or trait that you look for while you hire candidates at entry level or mid level roles, specific for quantity surveying?
Quantity surveying involve a lot of detailing. So someone like to sit down and details focus on looking at the drawing and the contracts. That's main key things. And then of course there are no specific very specific skill like how clever you are or how good in IT or those, but the attitude, yeah, as long as you interest in this project, you're keen to see how it's built, what is involved, then yeah, I don't see any difficulty.
Definitely. Okay. So as you go along, of course, you work on different projects of different sizes, scales, different
mm,
industries, and I think you build relationships with your subcons or your other
Client.
stakeholder clients, and I think that's overall that builds over time, and you see newer concepts, but you're able to leverage upon your experience to take the right decision over time.
Yeah. Um, from time to time, when you have enough experience and you're able to see the whole picture of the projects, you know what to do. Yeah.
Absolutely. So, if I may ask, was there any particular project over the last 20 years, through the wealth of projects that you have done, anything that you're particularly proud of, any project which stood out? And I'd like to know what was that project and why did it stand out?
Um, I think I did so many projects which it just come and go. Maybe the first project that I graduate, I involved. So that is the first project is build my character, right?
Which
So
project was this?
that is the project Putrajaya HQ in Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur. So there is a headquarters for all the government building for all the government offices.
Administrative buildings. Okay,
Yeah. So we are the contractors for the interior fit out for the HQ. So I have a very good manager. He's my mentor. So because we are fresh grad and you're very excited, you're very keen to know everything, and you don't know what to do, although you're very keen, and you just want to run, but you don't know where to run. So my manager, my mentor, he guide me through, and the way he guide me is not go for shortcut. He guide me doing all the detail part by part detailing. So that's built my character. Like everything I go through now, I will look for detail. So I won't go for shortcut and jump into conclusion. That's why I think the project it built my character right now. How I do works. Yeah.
got it. Got it. That explains a lot of your success in your career, probably the attention to detail. So just summarizing, one of the things that you mentioned, it was that students need to have the right attitude. The
Yes.
second would be the attention to detail, to go that extra distance and understand more aspects of the project, whatever is required. It's not just stop at what's required, but try to explore, have those conversations, and the more they spend time with these aspects of the project, they will learn, and it will help them in their career to come. Right?
Yeah, the involvement not only sitting in the office, involved in the contract or drawing, is the best fun is go to site, see
Yeah,
how people hands-on build it. That's give you better idea why some of the labor is so expensive. Because when you're able to see how difficult to construct something, so you know why expensive.
agreed, agreed. So along with that, of course, the hands-on experience, and then
Mm,
speaking with all different stakeholders, whether it's at site, in office, or externally with your suppliers, contractors. That helps shape the perspective and also uh, helps enable you to work and bring in coordination and efficiency.
yes.
Yeah. Great. I'd also like to know from you, like currently, what are the major trends that you see which are shaping the industry? You did mention, of course, BIM, where a lot of the models are being integrated, all the stakeholders are coming together on one platform.
Mm.
But is there anything particular that you're seeing in the next 5 to 10 years, which the direction in which the construction industry is heading?
I think after or during the COVID, the industry have changed a lot. Everything go to digital platform now. We don't need the thick file for all the contract documents. I still remember when for the first 10 years I involved all the tender document, we need a trolley to push into the office, and the A1 drawing, you need a trolley. Nowadays, everything's just based on the laptop. Even like the work plan, planning progress, everything on software. We don't print out anything anymore. So I think move forward, the software in this industry, the usage of software, it will be important, right? And beam, I can see the beam is improved from time to time as well. Of course, we are still on the try and error status now. For example, Singapore government now, they push for all the drawing go to beam model, but the first project they push for this is still under construct. It's not complete yet. And what are the outcome, what is the deviation, how much variation during construction, we still yet to see. So it take times, and then maybe come to one stage or complete a project, then we realize that there's something need to improve in that software, then the software will improve again. Or maybe one day we don't need do costing item by item by the software itself. It can automatic pick from our data and do the costing. That
Yeah,
might be another area. Right now, we try to build our cost data in the BIM modeling, but we always have problem because it's so new. We always type in the wrong coding, so the costing came out is wrong. So we still
got
try
it.
and error to use the software.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it is due, definitely that is the due course of things, right? I think the
Mm,
more we experiment with it, the more we figure out what's
yeah.
working, the accuracy improves. And now with the advent of AI too, I guess the idea here is
Yes.
to create a model which you will be feeding these kinds of data sets, which will be more specific to the construction industry, where we would share. So the AI data sets will improve through machine learning, where we train the systems, and then it's able to give you a more accurate representation of uh, the final output.
Just to share something, couple weeks ago we have our internal discussion with different office. So what we think that how AI helping us in this industry, we're talking about this AI. So what they said, we are that time when we discussed is talk about healthcare project. So like all the hospital clinics, every country, because we are international company, so we have different country hospital to build healthcare, and every country have their own set of regulation. So what my colleague sharing, he said that the AI could manage to help us apply the rules and the requirement of the hospital to our drawing. It will pick it up from there and tell us, oh, for this country, the fire rated should be 2 hours, and that country, the wall should be what kinds of material. That material cannot. So the AI can improve by in this kind of aspect. So it will reduce the human error.
Got it. Yeah, I think that's a very interesting use case, especially in terms of regulation. So where contracts come
Mm,
into, I think one aspect is, of course, your from your quantity serving, you have, as you mentioned, an aspect which is towards regulations, towards the contracts, right? So uh, off late, we see this ever growing localization aspect. So the rule in India, the law in India would be different from the
Mm,
Middle East versus the UK or Southeast Asia, right? So I think it's a very interesting use case which you mentioned where you can use the AI to implement aspects of your project specific to that region.
yes, especially now, like our country, Singapore, as you know that everything is so expensive. The rental here expensive, accommodation expensive, the wages, and it's the government keep on restrict the people come in this country. They only want some high skill. So what our company do, we have a lot of support in India. The support teams, not only IT, we have all the BIM modeling draftmen based in IT, based in India. So all the BIM 3D modeling is in from India.
Yeah, I
So
was fascinated. Sorry to interject, but I was fascinated to see that Jacobs has a presence in five different cities in India. That includes Hyderabad, Gurgaon, Mumbai,
yes,
and Kolkata. So it's a very big team, uh, where based out of India. So yeah, please carry on.
yeah, I think not only um, that, I think our um, our account, project account, everything based in India now. So, and then, but of course, like the 3D modeling draftman in India, they might not know the rules in Singapore when they help us to put up the modeling. What are the regulations? And we also have project in Philippines, Hong Kong, everywhere, and we also refer back to India to build all this drawing or modeling. So if I manage to identify the different country, different requirement, I think that will be very helpful in future.
Absolutely. I think that's some very insightful points you brought out. Thanks for sharing your insights. I'd like to know last couple of things. I want to be mindful of your time also. So, couple of things I'd like to know is in terms of how important is the industry specific knowledge versus general skills and passion for a new graduate, right? Are they expected to know everything from day one, or what are they expected to know from day one? And of course, coupling it up with good attitude and attention to detail, as you mentioned.
Okay, I think no one will know everything. So you don't need to get nervous when you don't know anything when you start work. Okay, don't need to feel nervous or left out. You just go with the flow, and then, but the important is your attitude.
Yeah,
Okay, important, yeah, attitude. You're willing to learn, you're willing to pick up. And from time to time, this industry, not only construction, actually all industry is the same. Time to time, you have all different new skill come up, the computer skill, software skill, anything. So important is your attitude. You're willing to take out the new things, new skill, and keep improving from time to time. Yeah, this is the only very important. Even if we interview any staff, what we look at, especially the fresh grad or 2 3 year experience, we're not expecting they know much, but we will look at their attitude.
perfect. I think I couldn't have said it any better. So thank you very much, Pauline. Appreciate your time and taking time to share with the students some fantastic insights, which I'm sure will go a long way for someone who's just starting off their career. They'll look at you as a role model and pursue that career in the construction industry.